Broadcasting Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
All right, hour number 2, continuing with your phone calls. I got a bunch of economic news, health news, global government news, attacks on free speech and the internet information, all coming up. But let's continue with your phone calls. Brian, we just talked to him. Let's talk to Michelle in Maryland. You're on the air, Michelle.
Hi, Alex. I hope my 2 points fall in line with what you're discussing today, but I disagree with how the government are treating the 9/11 workers, and I agree with your feelings towards this topic. I work at a very prominent hospital as a nurse in Baltimore and had to take care of one of the members of either the Bilderberg or the Trilateral Commission group, not sure which one, but this member asked me what exactly is it that I do, and I said I'm a nurse considered a professional in a validated profession, went to college for 4 years, et cetera, et cetera. And this member told me, quote, no, you're a skilled laborer, that's all you are, you're skilled at taking care of people like me, end quote. And I didn't realize until many years later after listening to
No, that's
show,
their religion, is to tell you you're scum and only their opinions matter and they are your God. At Bilderberg Group meetings, the staff is not allowed to look them in the eyes. That's admitted. I mean, you're scum. You're there to serve them.
Right. And anyway, well, I'm planning on helping the rescue workers from 9/11 sometime early next year by providing free medical services and free medications by using some of my own money and through some volunteer efforts of other nurses and nurse practitioners from the Northeast. So instead of giving into commercialism and buying a luxury car or a house I can't afford, I really want to help those who risk their lives for the people like us.
Well, Michelle, it's going to be people like you with the loving things they do individually that save humanity. But according to the government, those firefighters and police and military people and medical workers, they're just fine. Doesn't matter how many university medical centers scan their lungs. Doesn't matter how many die. Doesn't matter how many get lung cancer. I mean, the government just says it doesn't exist.
But it does. It does. So, but thank you so much for having me on your show. Thank you.
Well, Michelle, keep it up. And do you have a website or something?
It's not up and running yet, but I'll definitely give that information to you when it is.
What do you think of Congress blocking, almost 9 years later, medical aid to them?
I hear all the patients talking about they know what's going on, but it just takes efforts of people that like you and I, and we just have to really keep trying to do what we can.
Well, think about all the carnage from what's going to happen with the Gulf cleanup. I mean, it's going to dwarf all the deaths with Exxon Valdez, but the government will just say again, we want world government, but it doesn't exist. We're taking your baby's blood, but it doesn't exist. We're putting mercury in the shots that brain damage you, but it's good for you. I appreciate your call. Good points, Michelle. Let's talk to Ryan in Pennsylvania. Ryan, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, buddy, got about a minute and a half. Go ahead.
I was just reading on the internet a little bit ago about how it's illegal to videotape police officers now in 12 states. I wanted to see what you thought about that.
Well, the courts are beginning to rule on this, and they're saying the police are misapplying wiretapping, where you tap into somebody's phone or sneak into their house at night and videotape them. That's illegal. But in a public place, there's not the perception of privacy. So how can the government videotape us from the polls, but then you videotape cops 200 yards away and they come over and arrest you? They're just trying to intimidate the public in 12 states to not videotape them. It's more lawless, corrupt government thuggery.
And they can pull you over and have a dash cam rolling without your consent. And
yeah, they're just trying to set the precedent to intimidate everybody. They know full well it's not illegal, but they can still get a grand jury to indict your butt. You're an uppity blood bag that's trying to actually stand up and say you have rights. You're here to supply blood to the government. Okay, how dare you? They're going to videotape you. You're not going to videotape them. They're going to arrest you for petty infractions, but not the illegal aliens, because they're on the government team. They're on the team. And together...
How can they do that? Like, so many people, they're like public figures out in public on the public streets and everything.
Because it's a lawless, scumbag, criminal, filth-run government that thinks it can tell you what to do. We'll be right back. Hi, folks. This is Alex Jones asking you for a minute of your time to tell you about soap. Not detergents, but good old-fashioned pure soap made by the Skull&Bones Soap Company, a family-owned and operated American company. My family, staff, friends, and radio listeners are constantly telling me how much they love these products for bath, hair, laundry, and dishes. There is nothing like these factory-direct, big money-saving, triple-concentrated soaps anywhere. Get a free detailed catalog by calling 800-340-7091 or see them online at 5starsoap.com or Infowars.com. Let's talk to the owner of 5-Star Soap, Marty Schachter, and see what he has to say.
As founder and owner for over 63 years, people keep asking me, how's business? I'm happy to say our business is going down the drain. Call us at 1-800-340-7091. Visit our website, 5starsoap.com, for buying our 1 to 2 month soap sampler. Thank you.
We are on the march. The empire is on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
We are into hour number 2 of this August 8th, 2010 Sunday transmission. I'll be back live tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Live. Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com are the websites. Don't forget, we have the free iPhone app. We also have a link to a free Android app. It's free. And you can get the podcast, links to the audio streams at Infowars.com. And even if you don't have an iPhone or iPad, you can send the free app to your friends and family that do. There's also the free download link for the podcast for any computer at Infowars.com. And we're gaining about 3 stations a week. So the broadcast, we've actually, a couple weeks ago, we had 5 stations in 1 week, picking up the weekday show and the weekend show. Very thankful to all those new affiliates. Look, we're being trained to submit. The establishment social psych warfare engineers are trying to break our will. They come out and admit, we're taking your baby's blood for the Pentagon at birth. Nothing you're going to do to stop it. There's no law. We just do it. We're going to put you through naked body scanners and save the images and bathe you in radiation. We're just going to do it. We're going to give 30 million illegal aliens free health care and let them have their babies here for free, and citizens have to pay for the baby. But when you have a baby as a citizen, you've got to pay. That's just the way it is. And we're going to set up a world government, a new global private currency run by private banks that have engineered the collapse, and that's just the way it is. And in 12 states, and even CNN and ABC are saying this isn't legal. In 12 states, they're arresting people. If you videotape cops 150 yards away beating somebody up, and then you put it on YouTube, they come and arrest you. If you videotape cops shooting somebody in the back, they come and arrest you. If you videotape cops in your own house, they arrest you. If you're riding down the road with a motorcycle on your helmet, riding down the road on a motorcycle with a camera on your helmet, in one of the more famous cases, and the cops pull you over and arrest you for, this is what America is. They're going to videotape you. They're going to face scan you. They're going to record your genitals. They're going to put cameras up and say, well, you have no reasonable perception of privacy in public, which is true. But we run the government. We should decide whether we want the government watching us with cameras. But then they come and arrest you for videotaping them. It's just all part of the government saying, we're God. This is the way it is. Put up with it. What did AP and Bloomberg report in the last week and a half? It was a 15-page article at Bloomberg last week that I marveled at here on air, where it mentioned that every major insurance company has had the feds change the regulations, not the laws, but the regulations, where they keep the dead vets' death benefits that their widows have taken out on them, that their wives have taken out of their husbands, and $400,000, $500,000, $1 million. It gave different cases. And the government says, well, it's legal now. We made it legal to, we're making it legal to take your pension funds. We're making it legal to take your Social Security. We're making it legal to keep your insurance money. They're just seeing what they can get away with. It's criminal. It's wrong. The government went rogue. It happens in every other case in every other nation in history. It's happening here. And it's big and it's bad. They've set up a tyranny where they brag that they want to get away with it. And they've tried to study us scientifically. I mean, this is serious, and they give little psychological cover stories to their enforcers and minions. Just like I told you a decade ago, this whole war on terror, even pre-9/11, had nothing to do with men in caves. And now we have the internal documents, MIAC, Homeland Security. It's all for gun owners, landowners, conservatives, libertarians. All right, let's go quickly to your calls. Let's go to Andrew, who disagrees. Then we're going to Lance, Forrest, and many others. You're on the air, Andrew.
Hey, Alex. I've been a long-time listener. Over the past year, I've really become disgusted with a lot of the things you say and do. I made a list of things, actually, if you'll give me just 1 minute to go through it. I know you like to cut people off and not let them finish.
Well, no, I will cut you. Hold on a minute. I will cut you off if something you say I said isn't true or is spun, and I will counter each of your points. But if you actually answer my questions, I'll keep you on. Go ahead.
Okay, let's start with this. I take real issue with the fact that you say you predicted 9/11. It's clear to anyone who can go and look for themselves that Bill Cooper predicted 9/11 1 month before you did. You want to respond, or do you want me to just keep going?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll respond to that. I mean, Bill Cooper was somebody on like a 5,000-watt shortwave station, and I have heard clips of him saying they're hyping bin Laden, they're going to stage something with him. I specifically said blow up the World Trade Center towers because I knew the feds had bombed it before. So the point is, I didn't hear him say that. I saw the media coming out and saying Al-Qaeda is going to attack you, give up all of your rights when this happens. I read, sir, a year before 9/11, 2 years before 9/11, all I talked about was government-sponsored terror because it was obvious. I saw the Rand Corporation say about a year before 9/11 that there's going to be terror attacks and we're going to take the American people's rights. Then they had the dark winter drill about 8 months before 9/11, practicing martial law. I mean, this is what Patriot Radio covers. So, of course, other people could see the clear programming. Okay, now let's go to your next point. Go ahead.
Okay, my next point is you had Bill Cooper on your show one time.
Hold on just a minute. Hold on just a minute. Hold on a minute. This is all about patriot mythology, infighting stuff. That's not what I do on my broadcast. Okay,
oh.
And I know what you're going to say. You're going to say you had Bill Cooper on, and you said that you let him go because he was cussing, and then people go listen to the radio interview and they don't hear cussing, and I appreciate your call. Have a good day. I'm not going to sit here and talk about some dead guy on my show, okay, who talked about flying submarines and flying saucers, and I've got his book, which I hadn't read till just a few years ago. I mean, I remember somebody gave it to me about 12, 14 years ago, and I just looked at it, and as soon as I only read part of it, as soon as it said that he'd seen video that space aliens shot, I mean, this is in there. And every time I mention this, people say, I'm making this up. No, he said video that aliens shot of Jesus being crucified. Okay, I'm not a UFO guy. He's a UFO guy. And people try to create this fake thing like there's some issue with me and him, okay? All right? I mean, literally, he put out an email saying the IRS is surrounding me. I need your help. I called him and said, I'd like to have you on. And he said, you're that, bleeping such and such. You know how smart I am. And I thought, man, the guy was well known for constantly cussing on the air everywhere. And I got him on, and we had 15-second delay. That was on 98.9 FM at the time, talk radio. And I was on there. I can't believe we're talking about this. They're putting poison in the water. They're trying to start war with Iran. And I say, if you disagree, one guy calls in and says he's for world government, and I'm bad because I'm not for it. Another guy's for anchor babies and tries to imply I'm unchristian because I don't want to give free health care to all the illegal aliens and make them citizens, when they have the babies here. And then you call in because I don't cover people that supposedly videotaped Jesus being crucified. I mean, he said it was a hologram of aliens filming it. That's the wrong show, sir. It's the wrong show. I'd probably heard Bill 2 or 3 times. People send me cassette tapes talking about space aliens. I don't cover space aliens. I didn't even cover space aliens last week whenever Churchill, if I put it up on screen, now they've released all these memos where he was saying society will collapse, the aliens are real, what are we going to do? I guess I've got to start covering it. I mean, maybe he did see a hologram of aliens filming Jesus. I mean, I don't know. Wrong show. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's normal to say he saw flying submarines. Okay. Yeah, Churchill ordered UFO cover.